Good evening. I am Adam Curlin, working through the Arkansas Academy for Educational Equity. Student data was pulled from multiple places. My School Info, which is a very useful site um, on the internet, I was able to create a large Excel file of the entire school's data in terms of summative assessments from last year for the grade levels to see how students did. This not only breaks apart by subject and grade level, it also breaks apart by demographic and if they're required to be special education. So it gives me a large amount of easily accessible information that I can then turn into an Excel file for myself. Student population is entirely free and reduced lunch, and we're entirely African American. 19% of the student population is special education. Data was also pulled from my interim assessments that I gave over the course of the year. This was not only from last semester and the spring break, before spring break, but also after the coronavirus hit and we were all online. I'm still giving these online interim assessments in the very same manner I did in class, just everything's online now. This brought every student in class was found to be behind in grade level and at least one skill area pulled from the ACT Aspire Live Binder. So every student is behind. This is my surprise. Even my brightest students are behind their peers in other schools. The question I have becomes this: when every student needs to be remediated, how do you remediate every student in very specific skill levels? So, strengths and challenges. Students are seeing medium to high growth according to the ACT Aspire summative exams in maths and sciences. This does not mean they're at proficient level. This simply means that they have moved at least one grade level that year in terms of the STEM subjects. This is a strength. This is a unique thing. This means we do have strong STEM teachers. Our challenges is student enrollment is dropping, which decreases, of course, the budget, which makes it more difficult to give the students the instruction they need for their improvement. Students are multiple grades behind. They're very low performing in all subject areas. I did find it puzzling that SPED students are doing as well, if not better, than their school peers in other classrooms. I address strengths and challenges by focusing more on engaging processes. I focus on real world phenomena. I really hope my students become conscious consumers, and students are obviously growing. I'm seeing a growth not only in my interim, but on my summative in the past couple of years. And having them be engaged in these real world phenomena is often half the battle. Goals that I have identified are students mastering skills in the ACT Aspire. My school is very focused on the state summative exam, and all questions must come from these by principal order. All my tests and all my quizzes are given through the lenses of ACT Aspire testing because it will help my school succeed. And I'm being strong armed into it. My goal is, of course, more of the NGSS, but that's a battle that I've been personally having. Virtual labs and performance tasks have also been my way of assessing students. How well and how quickly they mastered tasks that require more logical thinking lets me see how well they'll do on the actual exam. So often, NGSS and science and ACT Aspire is all about critical thinking. I can see this in labs. I can see this in performance tasks and activities, which I have started moving into a virtual in the last 9 weeks. I'll be able to see in next year's summative exams because we're not doing it this year. For in terms of action planning, I've given multiple online assessments. I do a 10-day test, which assesses the skills they have learned in those 10 days. I then do an interim exam, which is every 9 weeks. They receive an exam that they'll work on that assesses all the skills that they must master in the summative exam for me to find which skills are lacking and then move on to that in whatever subject we're moving on to next. I would definitely move the action plan more if I knew what was going to happen into stuff in which they can get help from parents. Really, just like real world examples they can go outdoors and find more daily and phenomenon which they can receive. I love the online for extension. When a student finishes something that day, I can immediately extend their learning by providing extra articles immediately. I can automate it. So when students finish something, I can have the computer extend their learning with materials I've provided beforehand. The amount of parent interaction that is required from the learning in the pandemic has given me a far better understanding of every student's situation and how much learning I have to give the parents sometimes so that they can go and teach their students. I really want to focus more on parent interaction going into next year. That's the end of my final project.
Sounds good, babe.
Thank you. I don't know how long that was. I'm trying to cut it. I'll just have to trim it.